Shalom. Welcome to our Saturday Sabbath class. Very excited to be here today. And, some people are unfortunate right now because of all the rain and the sun and stuff. But for those of you that are able to make it, how's everybody doing?
Doing fine.
That's good. That's good. All right. Well, I'll pass it over to Leonard.
So, what I decided to do, I was listening to those the other two shows with the about the Giants, and I still felt like I had needed to put some more information in there. So I'm gonna do a part 3 to put a nail in the coffin. So what I did was we'll do a little quick recap. We know that the Anakim is when the fallen angels came down and slept with and Cain is the first one. Cain is the first Anakim, the first giant. And we had talked about David, and David had some giants and mighty men with him. And so that's where I'm gonna pick up it. I'm gonna elaborate on David and his mighty men. And so 2 Samuel chapter 20, starting at 2 Samuel chapter 23, starting at verse 8. I'm gonna read some of it. And before I go into that, I want to expound on the fact that about in Genesis 28, verse 10 through 13, in Jacob's ladder. If you go to chapter Genesis 28 verses, starting at verse 10, it's about Jacob's ladder. When the Lord of hosts appeared to him at Bethel, said Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran, and he lit upon a certain place and tarried there all night because the sun was setting. And he took the stones that were that place and put them for his pillows, and he lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, the ladder sat on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascended and descended on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham thy father, and the God of Isaac, and the land whereunto thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee, and in thy seed, shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So this is Jacob didn't understand that the place where he stopped to rest at and laid his head down was the same place where Abraham had made his sacrifice. And so those stones that he got his head on, they're anointed, because in a time earlier before he got there, Abraham had anointed those stones. And so while he was asleep, he had a dream, and he was awakened to the fact, and it was revealed to him that, he was at this certain place. But what I want to expound on is the fact that it's a portal. This how the angels come in and out from one dimension into another dimension right here at Bethel. And so a lot of people talk about, they call Rome the 7 mountains in Rome. There's also 7 mountains in Jerusalem. Jerusalem has 7 mountains. Mount Carmel and Mount Hermon, and these guys all like 5 other mountains. But the thing I want to show is that when you understand about the book of Enoch, those angels, those 200 angels, they came in right here at Bethel at the portal, and they went to Mount Hermon, and they made their pack on Mount Hermon before they went and defiled themselves with the women. They went on Mount Hermon and they made an oath on Mount Hermon. So I was just giving you the layout on the situation, and that's and this is Bethel is in the land of Canaan, and so this is why so many giants all over the place when the Israelites come there, because this is where the portal is where they're coming in at right here. So it's like a giveaway, a sign that is, something is there, because you see all these giants all over the place. And so I wanted to shed on how the structure of the giants set up. You got people talk about, they say it's different size giants. And so you look at, I was telling you earlier in part 2 about how that when you see the I am, those are the giants that directly came from when the fallen angels slept with the women, Cain's daughters, right? But then you see ITE, ites. Those are giants which are smaller. They're smaller than the other ones, a lot smaller. And that's when the Anakim slept with the women. The giants slept with the women. And so these are smaller giants. So these are ites, like when you get to the 7 nations that was in the land of Canaan, the Jebusites and the Horites and all those types of giants. They're smaller. They're bigger than us, but they're a lot smaller than the original giants. And then it also says that I'm gonna read Genesis chapter 6, verse 4. Explain it a lot better. Genesis chapter 6, verse 4 says, there were giants in the earth in those days. That's the giants with the I am on them. The ones that's in Genesis chapter 10, when in Ham's lineage. That's when those fallen angels came down from Mount Hermon. They came to the Ham's lineage. And so that's what you see in Genesis chapter 10, starting at 13 through 18. You see all these Mizraim and Ludum and Anam and Leum. All these are much bigger giants. And then Genesis chapter 6, verse 4 says there were giants in the earth in those days, and after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, that's the fallen angels, and they bore children unto them. Right? That's the giants telling you what the I am. Then the same became mighty men, which were men of old, men of renown. These mighty men are the giants that came about, the ites, the ones that came about when the giants slept with the woman. And so I'm going to show you that. So if you go to 2 Samuel 23 and verse 8. Chapter 23 verse 8 says these are mighty men that David had with him. And a lot of people don't know this, but we're going to talk about it. It says, verse 8 says, these be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Tactonite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adonio the Eznite. He lifted up his spear against 800 whom he slew at one time. And after him was Eleazar the son of Duda, the Amahite, and one of the 3 mighty men with David when they defied the Philistines that were there, gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. He arose and smote the Philistines until his hands was weary, and his hand clave unto his sword, and the Lord wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned only to spoil. And after him was Shema, the son of Agi, the Harite, and the Philistines were gathered in the troop. Where was a piece of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. But he stood in the midst of the ground and defended it, and slew the Philistines. And the Lord wrought a great victory. And the 330 chiefs went down and came to David in the harvest time in the cave of Adam, and the troops of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in a hole, and the garrison that the Philistines were then in Bethel. So there go, you see Bethel right there. That's Bethel is the same place where Bethel is at the portal. That's why it's called Bethlehem. So David longed and said, one would give me the water of the well of Bethel, which is is by the gate. And the 3 mighty men break through the host of the Philistines and drew the well of Bethel that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink it thereof, but poured it out unto the Lord. And he said, be it far from me, O Lord, that I should do this. Is not this the blood of the men that went in jeopardy of their lives? Therefore, he would not drink it. These things did these 3 men, these mighty men, do. So if you keep reading it all the way through, it's telling you all about these mighty men, which is, I told you so you say, well, how did David come in contact with these mighty men? I mean, how can descendants from the giants be dealing with David? So I want to show you that. If you go to Joshua chapter 10, Joshua chapter 15. Okay, so we see that in Joshua chapter 15, this is when they received Judah received their inheritance when they came into the land of Canaan. The land was divided up, and so when the land was divided up, whatever part of the land they got, the giants that was in that part of the land also belonged to that tribe. They couldn't intermingle with them, but they had cities that fell to Judah, or whichever tribe had that land. Those giants and those cities that those giants lived in fell to that tribe. And so they was ordered when we originally came there was supposed to utterly destroy all the giants. And that's a lot of the problem with this all through Israel history, that they did destroy all of them. So when you go to verse 21, it says, I'm reading, I'm going to start at 20. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families, and the uttermost cities of the tribe of Judah toward the coast of Edom, southward were Cabazil and Eder and Jephthah. And okay, I can't say these words. So if you keep on going down, you get down to verse 32. And Leobath and Shinam, they're going to get I-M, A-I-N, and Remuson, and the cities are 29 in their villages, and in the valley of Kethel and Zehar and Ashnah, giants. See, these cities that the giants lived in. So these giants are subject to the children of Judah. And so Caleb and Joshua is out of the tribe of Judah. And then you come on down to the time of David. David is out of Judah. So that's where these giants coming from. And like I said, they I-T-E. They smart, they not, but they mighty men, like Genesis chapter 4 says. So they subject to David because of they fell in the lot of the tribe of Judah. And so, let me give you an example.
Can I add something to what you just said?
Go ahead.
Verse 63 of 15 says, "As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah could not drive them out. But the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem to this day." So that's a prime example of what she was talking about, because now that we know these people are giants, they've been there the whole time.
So if we look at 23, and if you look at 23, the mighty men, 23 and 20. Second Samuel. Yeah, but I'm show you what I'm talking about. Second Samuel 23 and 20 says, and Benaiah. So if you when you do your homework on Benaiah, you find out that Benaiah ends up being the Lord of hosts for Solomon. And then I'm gonna expound on him a little more in a minute. But Benaiah, the son of Jedediah, the son of a valiant man of Kebazal, who had done many acts. He slew 2 lion-like men of Moab, and he went down also and slew a lion in the midst of the pit in the time of snow. So we see this ain't no regular man. He's a mighty man, like Genesis 6 and 4 says. So it says in 20 that the city he came from is Cabazil. So if you go back to Joshua chapter 15, verse 21, you see it. And the uttermost cities of the tribe of Judah toward the coast southward were Cabazil, same word. So he's from one of these cities that's fall to the inheritance of Judah. So when they came in and possessed the land, and the land was divided by lots, the giants was included. Everything that was in the land, the rivers, the waters, the trees, the animals, and the giants all fell to that tribe to their inheritance. And that's why these giants is subject today, because they subject to the tribe of Judah. Okay, and so if you start at verse, I'm gonna read some of verse 1 of chapter 15. Joshua, try to shed a little more light on it. It says, this being was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah by their families, even to the borders of Edom, the wilderness of Zin southward, and was the uttermost parts of the south coast, and their south borders was from the shores of the South Sea, from the bay that looked southward, and they went out to the south side of the Mahah Ashkabim. See these giants right here, this washed with giants. It says, and passed along to Zin and ascended up to the south side of the Kadesh Barnea, and passed along the Hazaron and up unto Adar, and fenced and compassed Kukar. So you keep reading all that, you get a gist of what I'm saying, what I'm showing you. And I had talked earlier about David with the lame and the blind, when he was in Jerusalem is a part of this territory. But at the time, if you go to verse 9, that's what Jerusalem, the name of Jerusalem was. It's Karath Jearim in verse 9. That's the name of a giant. That's what this name of the city was. Well, before David renamed it, he renamed it Jerusalem, but that was the name of it before that. And so I had read in 23 chapter 23 of 2 Samuel 20 about Benaiah. And so what I want to do is shed light on Benaiah, because Benaiah was it was a race of giants that was in the land of, in that allotment that goes to Judah. They was called the Cherites and the Pelethites. And David came in contact with these giants right here when he was running from Saul. He came across these giants right here, and because he lived among the Philistines for a while, and then these giants right here became subject to him. And so David got Benaiah to be captain of the host over them. So these Cherites and these Pelethites are David's bodyguards. They follow him, everywhere he goes. And so look at 2 Samuel, 1 Samuel. Let me give you some verses. 1 Samuel 30 and 14. Hold on, man. 30 and 14 says, and we made an invasion upon the south of the Cherites, and upon the coast which belonged to Judah, and upon the south of Caleb, and we burned zigzag with fire. So this back when they was coming and conquering the land. You see right here, they conquered these people right here, these Cherites, the giants. And then 1 Samuel 30 and 16 says, and when he had brought him down, behold, they were spread abroad upon all the earth, eating and drinking and dancing, because of the great spoil that they had taken out of the land of the Philistines and out of the land of Judah. So these Cherites and Perizzites, they offshoots of the Philistines. They're clean out of the Philistines. And 2 Samuel 8 and 18 says, back to Benaiah. Benaiah, the son of Jedediah, was over both the Cherites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were chief rulers. So David and his sons and Benaiah was over these two groups of giants that David had personally engaged with while he was on the run from Saul, when he went and lived among the Philistines. 2 Samuel 15 and 18. Says, and all his servants passed on beside him, and all the Cherites, and all the Pelethites, and all the Gittites, 600 men, which came after him from Gath, passed on by the king. So he's showing you that he had a long history with them, so he didn't trust nobody else as far as his life to guard him except these giants right here. And he put he had 33 giants that was with him, that was everything. His whole army was centered around these 33 giants. And the number three giants, the strongest ones and the ones that had the names, were Benaiah was one of them, and he put Benaiah over these Cherites and these Pelethites to keep him, protect him. And so they accompanied David in his when Absalom came when Absalom tried to overtake David and take his throne. These same giants was with him to protect him. That's what I just read in 2 Samuel 15 and 18. But if you go to 2 Samuel 20 and 7, it says, and this is where okay, I'm going to start at verse 6. And David said to Abishai, now shall Sheba, the son of Berechiah, do us more harm than did Absalom. Take thou thy Lord's servants and pursue after him, lest he get him a fenced city and escape. So what happened was this guy, Sheba had cursed David when David was leaving the city, fleeing from Absalom. So David turned back around after he got situated, and he sent Benaiah and these giants to go kill him. Verse 7. And there went out after him Joab's men and the Cherethites and the Perizzites and all the mighty men. And they went out to Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba, the son of Bor. And when they were at the great stone, which is in Gibeon, Misha went before them, and Joab's garment that he had put on was girded onto him, and upon it was girded with a sword fastened upon his loins in the sheath thereof. And he went forth, and it fell out. And Joab and Amisha, art thou in health, my brother? And Joab took Amisha by his beard with the right hand and kissed him, but Amisha took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand. So he smote him therewith in the fifth rib, and shed out his bowels to the ground, and struck him not again, and he died. So Joab and Abishai, his brother, pursued after Sheba, the Borkite. And anyway, so we see that all these David surrounded without the giants. I mean, like I'm saying, people didn't know this, but he's surrounded with these giants. But like I was saying, when you look at the order of things, they fell subject to David because of his inheritance. But the powers that be don't want you to know this. Yeah. So what they are, these Cherethites and these Perizzites, they acted like what we would call today mercenaries. They're mercenary soldiers. Like I said, the nucleus of David's army is centered around these two clans that come out of Philistines. And then another example of them is when you go to 1 Kings, just during the time of Solomon. So they was with David, now they with Solomon. 1 Kings 1 and 38. First King 1 and 38, I'm going to start at verse 37. Say, as the Lord have been with my Lord the King, even to he with Solomon, and make his throne greater than the throne of my Lord David, of my Lord King David. So Zodek the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah the son of Judah, and the Cherethites and the Perizzites went down and called Solomon to ride upon David's mule, and brought him to Gideon. And then you go to verse 44. And the king had sent with him Zodek the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah the son of Jedediah, and the Cherethites and the Perizzites, and they have caused him to ride upon the mule. So they was there, just like they was there for David, they was there for Solomon, protecting him. And so this is how, when the Most High was saying that the seed out of David was going to take the throne, he's including these giants right here, that they are assisting in these prophecies coming to pass. Yeah. So anybody got any questions before I go forward?
I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, when you look at the wall pics, the pictures, pictures of the giants, when they were with the people.
Right.
Most of the time, when I look at those pictures, it looks as if the giants are in charge. So you're saying that the humans, that the people were in charge of these giants.
Yeah. Each when they got there, you go to Deuteronomy chapter 2. You got to understand that the main thing is just the Lord of hosts is there, and he's directing all this behind the scenes. But we know who he is and what he's doing. So if you Deuteronomy chapter 2, I'm gonna start at verse 1. right? And so what's happening is, it says, they left the land of Egypt, and they come in and they go into the land of Canaan, but they got to pass through all these different tribes and clans and giants that's there. So it says, chapter 2, verse 1, then we returned and took our journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea, as the Lord spake unto me, and we compassed Mount Seir many days. So we know that Mount Seir is where the red-edged giants, which are the giants of the Horites. And so the Lord spake unto me, saying, ye have compassed this mountain long enough, turn ye northward, and command thou the people, saying, ye are to pass through the coast of your brethren, children of Esau. So Esau, they're with them, right? Esau, they're with these giants. They call Horites, which dwell in Seir. And they shall be afraid of you. Take ye heed unto yourselves, therefore meddle not with them, for I will not give you their land, no, not 1 foot breadth, because I have given it to Mount Seir. And so the giants are there, they land, but he gave it to Esau. And so he called Esau, oh, take these giants, and these giants became subject to Esau. And so he did it all over the place. And so when he brought the 12 tribes there, when they got their allotments, those giants fell subject to each one of those tribes, according to the land mass that they got. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah, so Most High behind it, he's making them, he making them subject to making these giants subject to the people that he bring them. That's why he's telling Jacob, the Israelites, when they got there, this ain't your land. Just keep on going through, because I didn't brought Esau here, and I called Esau, get Esau land now. I called them to overtake these giants, now it's their land. And the same with the Moabites and the Ammonites and the other people that's there. There was giants there at first, but they overtook them and made them subject to them.
Now, what pictures were you talking about?
You know, when you look at the book and whatever, and they have the giants, you know, and it looks as if the people are catering to the giants, you know, up on ladders.
The Egyptian drawings and stuff?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. So if you pay attention to that, though, the giants are the ones that's doing all the work.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm understanding now. Mm-hmm. Also, at some point, didn't the giants turn on the humans?
Well, when they got there, I mean, you know, it's a long history of that land and that area before that people got there, and so we see that the reason why Saul saved Agag was that Agag was tall, and this is where the crowns come from. This is what when they say kings, this is where all this came from. These giants had crowns on. If you go back to Tubal-Cain, he was an artificial metals. He was a craftsman with gold and silver and stones. So they was the ones that started fashioning these crowns. And so when the Israelites came into the land, they started seeing all these different tribes and clans of giants with kings over them. The crown with these sophisticated crowns that they had devised on their heads. That's why the Israelites wanted a king when they got to their land. They said they wanted a king like the rest of the nations had. And so that's why Saul was chosen, because he's his height. They wanted him to look like the other kings of the other nations.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Any more questions? Okay, so I'm gonna move forward with this. What I want to talk about now is we kind of briefly talked about it just now, but it was a race of giants at Mount Seir, which is tied to Esau. And we also know when Esau was born, the Bible tells you that he came out red. He was red all over. Didn't say like a hairy garment. So he had this red hair, and he was red, and and he was hairy. And so if you go back and you do your research and you look at it, it's in ancient history, it's a race of giants that people talk about. There was a wash all over the Europe, and when the people got here, when they originally got here, the explorers and Columbus, it was a race of giants, red-headed giants they called them the mound builders, was all over the place. And so what I'm getting ready to do is shed a light on that and put these red-headed giants in perspective. So it was an ancient race of white giants described in the Native American legends. Saying these legends passed down that they was eventually wiped out. And so the Chickasaw and the Choctaw told of a race of giants that once inhabited Tennessee, and they called them the Nahula giants. And the Nahula came to be described as they was all white people, and they first came into contact with them when they crossed the Mississippi River, and they were cannibals, and every time the Chickasaw would come in contact with them, they'd kill them. So they said, so they assumed they had never seen white folks until they seen them. So they assumed that all white people was associated with these males, right? And then the Comanche gave a following account of the ancient race of white giants, a race of white men 10 feet tall, and the thing about it was, he said they were more rich and more powerful than any white people now living. They inhabited a large range of countries extending from the rising of the sun to the setting of the sun. So almost all of North and South America was these red-headed giants encompassed it. It says that at the top of these mountains you can see these forts they had built at the very top of the mountain, the summit of the mountains. And this is where they had their cities at. So when you look at that and go back to Israel, that's what the Israel problem was. It was the people. When I told you earlier in 4 or 5 different classes about the I am, which is that when you see that I am on the end of a word, you know them giants. So Balaam, people don't understand or know what that is, but Balaam, that's a race of giants. That's a race of people. So Israel kept on seeing it over and over again because they had these races of people that lived up in the mountains, in the high places that they keep talking about in the scriptures, the high places, and they would go up there and worship their gods. And so we see right here these same giants. They got these. They fortifications and they cities up in these mountains, high up in these mountains. That's where they dwell at. And you go to the 200 giants that came through the portal at Bethel, they ended up on the summit at Mount Hermon. And you look at the folklore and the mythology of Zeus. He's up on Mount Hermon. He's on Mount Olympus. So these giants are dwelling up in these mountains, which is where the fallen angels dwell there. That's the purpose of the high place, right? So it says there's a race of white. So it says these the Navajo and the Manchu Indians says it's a race of white giants with mining technology who dominated the West, who landed on the coast or at the point of Santa Elena, and that's in Colombia. They say they disappeared. Either they extinguished, or these Navajo Indians say that they went back to heaven. So by them saying that, they knew that they was affiliated with the heavens. So which is affiliated with the fallen angels. And so when you understand that, this is directly tied to Esau, which is the Horites. And then we know about Eric the Red and his brothers and how they traveled. We know how they traveled all over they was master shipbuilders, and they traveled all over the place, raping and pillaging and killing, taking everybody's stuff, all over the world. But their mode of transportation was by these ships. And these Navajo Indians tell you that they showed up on the coastline in Santa Helena, some 7,000 years ago. And so another thing I want to expound on is that they did a DNA test that they did. It's a Swiss laboratory called IGENA. They did a DNA test on the mummies of Tutankhamun, and they discovered that more than half of the European population shared the same ancestry with the Egyptian child pharaoh. His genetic profile his DNA profile is a haplotype R1b1a2, and this haplotype group is dominant lineage of Western Europe, with especially high volume in Spain, Portugal, Western France, and Ireland, and in parts of the Sub-Sahara and Central Africa, which is Chad and Cameroon. So the reason I'm reading this is he said that this haplotype group is Spain, Portugal, Western France, and Ireland, and Chad and Cameroon, right? Well, these are the same people that put us in slavery. It's a transatlantic slave trade. The same DNA group, Portugal and Spain, they were the main ones that behind the transatlantic slave trade. They came from these same regions. And so we know that giants is our enemies. The fallen angels and the giants are our enemies. And the reason being is that in the book of Enoch, he had them to bind the fallen angels, and he had them to kill their children. And so us being the inheritance of the same person that destroyed them, they are enemies. And so, it's starting to make sense. And so, with all that being said, and now, you can do the research on this, but they, I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but recently, in the war in Afghanistan, they saying that some of the Marines came in contact with a red-headed giant that attacked them, and they end up having to they got in a skirmish with him, and they ended up killing him, and they brought him back to here in America, and then got him somewhere. But anyway, the reason I'm telling you that is that they supposed to be finding these red-headed giants all over the place in these chambers, time chambers, hidden in these different places all over parts of Afghanistan and parts of South America. But they kind of like.
So 712-775-7031.
That's cool.
110-213.
Can you mute your phone, please? Whoever just joined in. Thanks.
Yeah. So it's like it's no coincidence that these they're saying that they found these chambers with these red-headed giants in them, and then all of a sudden they get the U.S. Army get attacked by one, in Iran and Afghanistan, which is a region where they was prominent at back in the day. Yeah. And so, like I was saying before, if you ever saw the movie Jack the Giant Slayer, then you would see on there that he supposedly went up this beanstalk to his land where his giants head. Well, all these giants in the movie, they got red head, they got red hair. And then they the ones that had all that, which tied him to Super King and to Esau. And then you come down to Britain. And Britain is Britain is tied to. They got a track record, a history of queens, red-headed queen women with the freckles, red, Bloody Mary, and like all the first queens of England, the royals, they were redheads. Pale-skinned redhead with freckles. And so Esau ties his lineage to the female. You know, Most High says that the Israel's lineage is tied to the male, but Esau tied his lineage to the red-headed female, which is these red-headed female giants that he married from Mount Seir, which is how he got Amalek, which is Amalek was a giant. He got Zephno was a giant, and Zephno ended up Zephno was the grandfather of Alexander the Great. So all this tied together with these red-headed giants. So you got any questions?
Hello? Yes, I have a question.
What is it?
Well, you said that the giants were directly tied to Esau. These red, hairy giants that were directly tied to Esau. Does that mean that Jacob and Esau were not like twins? They were from two different fathers, two different seeds?
Yeah, well, see, I had talked about that before. I don't know if it was on this line, but
the daughters of man, he created these giants. So that's what we're talking about. But after that,
you're not actively asking a question or talking, can you mute your phone until it's your time to speak? Because all of the noise is coming back over the line. Thank you. When you're ready to ask a question or talk, you can unmute it. But for right now, somebody is asking the question and he's answering it, and the noise is coming through the line. Thank you.
So what you were saying, though?
So she had asked Esau and Jacob.
Yeah. So if you look at in the story of Cain and Abel, we know that Cain's father was Satan, and Abel's father was Adam. So again, I don't know if I talked on this line or not, but when you go back to the story of Esau and Jacob, we know that that Isaac and Rebekah ended up down in Geor and the king Amalek took Rebekah, and he took Rebekah and from Isaac for a time period, but then Isaac had told him that Rebekah was his sister, and so it says in the Bible. Oh, can you find it? He said he saw him in the Bible where she had he looked out his window and he saw Isaac sporting with Rebekah, and he said that he called him in there and told him, he said, you told me, you lied to me, you told me Rebekah was your sister, but I see you sporting with her, she your wife. And then so his response was the same in Genesis. And we know what happened in Genesis. He said, what is this that you have done to me?
Genesis 26:10.
So what did it say?
It says, and Abimelech said, what is this that thou hast done unto us? One of the people might lightly have lain with thy wife, and thou shouldest have brought guiltness upon us.
Right. So we see they have in there that he said somebody could have slightly have lain with her. Well, when you later on, right after that, she ended up found out she was pregnant, and she had 2 kids in her womb. She had 2 kids in her womb, and we see they two totally different kids, just like in the garden. Cain and Abel were 2 totally different kids, because 2 boys, because they had 2 different fathers.
And you said two manner of people, right. 2 different nations.
2 different nations come out of that bowel. So how can it be the same father but 2 different nations? 2 different nations, because, like I said, we see right here something happen. But they have us thinking, well, we can't think like that. But we see the evidence right here, because we know what happened with Cain and Abel. And we already we did a class on the fact about the two boys separated from that womb. There's always one wicked one, and there's always a good one.
Yeah, that's Genesis 25 and 23. It says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
So that answer the question?
It does answer my question, and it makes sense. It's making sense now.
Right.
Somebody else had a question. I'm not sure if it was Wesley or Jeanette.
It was Jeanette, and I was the one with all the noise behind me, and I apologize. But I was at Starbucks, and when I called in, and there was 3 or 4 college students that were sitting next to me, and they were listening to the line. But once you called me out, Kevin, and told me to get the noise off the line, I understood, and so I gave them the number. But I was just excited that they were interested in what was being said, and they wanted to know more about the Giants, but they had to leave. So I gave them the number, to the line, and they were just, they didn't know that such a line existed where people were talking about, the things that Leonard was presenting. And also there was a gentleman there in Starbucks that was talking about, how the black people are waking up all over the world. And I also gave him the number to the line. So I don't really have a question. I just wanted to share that.
Okay.
So hopefully they will call in, but they were just, college students, VCU University, and then one of them was from Virginia State University. And so I told them, they could call in on Wednesday at 7. And then today, you guys started at 10 a.m. our time, Eastern time.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. That sounds good.
Okay. Anybody got any more questions? Yeah. So we've been talking about the Giants for like 3 classes, and so what I'm doing right now is a lot of people don't understand the reason why the flood came, but the flood came because of these hybrids, these giants. These people came about that the Most High didn't want to come about, and they were wicked. And so we got to the point where it was only Noah was left, So the Most High, and they was wreaking havoc over the earth. So the Most High had to bring the flood, to cleanse them, right? But so we know that after the flood, they came back again because the land of Canaan was full of giants when the Israelites got there. And there's a portal there. They come in through that portal. So the earth had to be cleansed again. So you say, well, what you talking about? Well, let's go to Genesis chapter. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 37. And so in Ezekiel 37, he says that he's talking about the dry bones. And you know the story, he says that he's gonna, in verse 6, I will lay sinews upon you, and I will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. So why is he doing this? Okay, well, I was telling you earlier that when they came into the land of Canaan, and they would see their inheritance, it was giants in each one of the tribes' territory. But they was commanded by Moses through the Most High to cleanse the land of those giants. But they didn't kill all of them. They ended up having cities and dwelling with them. So you know, that was a lot of their problem all through their history. And so when you get to verse 9, it says in Ezekiel 37, it says, then said he unto me, prophesy to the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus said the Lord God, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, and exceedingly great army. Right? So what's the purpose of this army? Well, if you go to Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 4. It says, in that day, said the Lord, I will smite every horse with astonishment, and his rider with madness, and I will open mine eyes upon the house of Judah, and I will smite every horse of the people with blindness, and the governors, that the kings, all the kings that's in 1st and 2nd Kings and 1st and 2nd Chronicles, all the governors of Judah shall say in their heart, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength, and the Lord of hosts their God. In that day will I make the governors, the kings of Judah, like a heath of fire among the wood, and like a torch of fire in the sheep. And they shall devour all the people round about, on the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem. And the Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them, that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. And it shall come to pass that I will seek to destroy all nations that come against Jerusalem. So this the purpose of this army in Ezekiel 37 is that the promise and the covenant that he made with Noah was that never again was he going to flood the earth with water. And so why is he saying that? Well, in Genesis 1:1, we return to the earth, then what he called the deluge. He destroyed the earth with water in Genesis 1:1. And we return to it right there. He did it again in the times of Noah. And so he said, he told Noah, never again will I destroy the earth with water. Then the next time he's going to do it, it's going to be with fire. And so we see the fire that he's going to use is these people that he's promised he's going to resurrect, our forefathers, this army. Right? So let me read some of that again. So what I'm talking about. In Zechariah chapter 10. Let me find it again. Zechariah chapter 10, he said, In that day will I smite the hearts with astonishment and the riders with madness, and I will open my eyes upon the house of Judah, and I will smite every horse and people with blindness. And the governors of Judah shall say in their heart, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be our strength, and the Lord of hosts their God. In that day will I make the governors, the kings of Judah, they all dead right now. I will make them, the kings of Judah, like a heap of fire among the wood, and like a torch of fire in the sheep. And they shall devour all the people round about, on the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem. The Lord shall also say the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against each other. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them in that day shall be as David. In the house of David, that's the king, and David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord. So if they're going to be as the angel of the Lord, how is the angel of the Lord? Go to Exodus chapter 3. Exodus chapter 3, verse 1. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert. And he came to the mountain of God, even the Horeb. And the angel of the Lord, let me read that again. The angel of the Lord appeared unto him in the flame of a fire out of the midst of the bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. So we see the angel of the Lord as a consuming fire. And so in these last days, he's going to raise up the house of David and raise up our forefathers out of their graves. They're going to be like the angel of the Lord. Well, they're consuming fire. And this is how he's going to cleanse the earth. Let me give you one more verse. Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the people, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts. They shall leave them neither root nor branch. So it's saying that for a reason. That's because the 7 archangels is made out of fire. The Most High himself is a consuming fire. And when he raised up our ancestors out of their graves in Ezekiel 37, they're going to be a consuming fire. And so that's how he's going to clean the earth, which is he's fulfilling the prophecy and the covenant that he made with Noah. That never again was he going to destroy the earth with water, but that he was going to use fire the next time. And so in closing, I got a couple of verses I want to read where David had prophesied about this, but he went over a lot of people's heads. Gotta find it. It says, yeah, 2 Samuel 23, 1 through 7. When you understand what I just said, and then we read this, I mean, it's like a diamond in the rug. 2 Samuel 23. Okay, 1 through 7. Take in mind what I just said, what I just showed you. Said, it's David. He's prophesying about what I just told you. Now these be the last words of David. David, the son of Jesse, said, and the man who was raised up on high, the anointed of God of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel said, the Spirit of the Lord spake by me, and his words were in my tongue. And God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me, he that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of God. And he shall be as the light of the morning, when the sun rises, even a morning without clouds. As the tender grass springeth out of the earth, by clear shining after the rain. Although my house, listen to this, although my house be not so with God, yet he hath made with me an everlasting covenant, ordered in all things, and sure. For this is all my salvation, and all my desires although he maketh it not to grow. But the sons of Belial, ye giants, shall be all of them as thorns thrust away, because they cannot be taken with hands. But the man that shall touch them must be fenced with an iron and a staff of a spear, and they shall be utterly burned with fire in the same place. Huh? Okay, so I was going to close out with that. Anybody have any more questions? We're going to go on the Q&A. Anybody have any questions about this? No questions. So we're gonna go into Q&A, and we got any questions about any class or anything you have about anything, we can discuss it right now. Okay, I got some. I want to just put it on the record for people to know. It's in 1 Kings chapter 1 Kings 1:38. It's about Israel got a history that the king, in order for the king to become the king, they have to put him upon a mule, and then he has to be anointed, and then that's how he become the king. So he ride in on a mule and they anoint him. So got 1 Kings 1 verse 38 says, so Zodak the priest, the high priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah the son of Jedediah, and the Cherites and the Perizzites went down and caused Solomon to ride upon King David's mule, and brought him into Gilead. And Zodok the priest took the horn of oil out of the tabernacle and anointed Solomon, and they blew the trumpet, and all the people said, God save the king. So that's how he became the king. So we see that happen, right? Well, let's go to Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 9, and we'll start at verse 8. And I will encamp about mine house because of the army, because of him that passeth by, because of him that returneth, and no oppressor shall pass through them any more. For now I have seen with mine eyes. 9. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation, lowly, riding upon an ass, upon the coat of an ass. So they tell you that right here, that this is Jesus. Right here, it's a prophecy pertaining to Jesus. But when you understand, which I did a video on Zerubbabel, when you understand that this is Zechariah, and Zechariah lived during the time of Daniel, and they was in Babylon. And so Zechariah is prophesying that they're going to leave Babylon, be delivered from Babylon, just like they delivered from Egypt, and they're going to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple. And in order for them to do that, the king and the high priest had to be revealed. So you go to Haggai. Haggai and Zerubbabel was living during the same time, during the time of Daniel. And Haggai tells you in Haggai chapter 2 verse 20, and again the word of the Lord came unto Haggai in the 4th and 20th day of the month, saying, speak to Zerubbabel, governor, king of Judah, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth, and I will overthrow the thrones of the kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and the horses, and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. In that day, that's when they got delivered from Babylon, said the Lord of hosts, I will take thee, O Zerubbabel, my servant, the son of Sethel, said the Lord, and I will make thee a city, for I have chosen thee, said the Lord of hosts. So we see that Zerubbabel is the one in Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9, that's riding on the ass, on the mule. So they, in order for them to get back from Babylon to Jerusalem, there wasn't no cars, no airplanes. So they mode of transportation was mules, pack mules and camels. So we see right here in verse 9 that it's Zerubbabel and the remnant that's there rejoicing greatly because of Zerubbabel's returning to the daughter of Zion, daughter of Jerusalem, and behold, thy king Zerubbabel comes unto thee. He is just and having salvation and lowly, riding upon an ass, upon the coat of an ass, foal of an ass. Yeah, I just want to shed light on that and put it on the record.
This is Jeanette. So Jesus riding or sending people to secure a donkey for him to ride on is a copycat.
Right. He set the stage up for. He's setting it up.
Huh?
He's setting it up based on they know, like I said, they got hold of our records. They know how the Israelites did things. So in order to make him look like he's a Messiah, that he has to do the things that David and our Messiah done. That's why they tried to connect him to the house of David in Matthew, but Coniah gave him away.
Mm-hmm.
So we see right here, when Solomon was anointed, they had to put Solomon upon David's mule. Right? He had to be riding on David's mule and be anointed in order to be the king. So they took that understanding. That's why they seen, and we see that in Zechariah 9 and 9, that's not even talking. He ain't even talking to us. Zechariah lived during the time of the Babylonian captivity.
Mm-hmm.
Him, Haggai, all the minor prophets lived during the time of the Babylonian captivity. He ain't talking to us. He ain't talking to us. He's talking to the captives. Okay. He's talking to the captives that's in Babylon. Just like Moses. Moses ain't talking to the people in Babylon. Moses talking to the people that was delivered out of Egypt. You got to put it in context.
Right.
So when the Most High appeared to Moses at Mount Sinai, he wasn't talking about us or the people in Babylon. He said, I heard that my people's cry in Egypt.
Right.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that the mindset, the reason why I keep on saying that we have to get back around to thinking and talking and dialoguing like Hebrew. Because they got us thinking like they want us to think, and as long as we think like they want to think, we're going to always end up with JC.
Right.
Yeah, one of the key things too that we missed, and is what he just read about Solomon being anointed. And JC could have rode in on 20 mules, but it never says he was ever anointed. And so because we don't understand how the Old Testament works and how our forefathers did things, we should have said, well, wait a second, where's the oil? If he was riding in on the ass, something else should have came with that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a red flag right there, but because we don't understand the Old Testament, we look right over it. So I'm actually going to be posting a video today called Exposing the God of the New Testament. And I talk about some of those things.
So thinking like a Hebrew is the thinking of the Old Testament.
Right. That's,
okay.
So to expound on that, the holy scriptures the New Testament is scriptures, but they're not holy. What makes the Old Testament holy is in Hebrew.
Okay.
The New Testament is not in Hebrew.
Go ahead.
The New Testament is not in Hebrew. They scriptures, but they're not holy. It's not thus said the Lord.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so last week we were talking about, or some of us mentioned that the whole Jesus dying for our sins was similar to a human sacrifice.
Right.
And so, in thinking about that, there's a story in the Old Testament of Abraham supposedly being directed by God to take Isaac up and sacrifice him. What is that about? I mean, because that would have been a human sacrifice. So why would the Most High have Abraham to even go up to do that, even though he was going to put a ram in the bush? What is the understanding of that?
Well, okay. Well, we just talked about this now, and I was elaborating on the giants and then how they dwell on the summits. They dwell at high places, and so the Most High had and these giants was making sacrifices. They ones deal with blood sacrifice, and they was making sacrifice to their fathers, which is these fallen angels, which dwell up on these mountains. That's why they up there on these mountains, because they up there where their fathers are. They dwell on the mountains. If you go back and if you recall, like I said, those 200 came down on the summit on top of Mount Hermon. Okay, so we know one of the characteristics of Michael is that he always leave a remnant, right?
Right.
He left a remnant of these. He left a remnant of the giants, of those fallen angels, and this angel called Mamre. That's where in Genesis 18. That's where Moses was at. He was in the plains of Mamre. Okay, so that's who Abraham was dealing with. And when you go look in the book of I think it's Jasher, Mamre was the one talking to Abraham. And he's trying, when you understand that Jacob was prophesied way back in the beginning of the Bible because the nation of Israel came out of Jacob. So Isaac has Jacob in his loins. So he won't, to usurp the Most High authority, he's trying to get Abraham to kill Isaac. If he kill Isaac, then Jacob can't come. So
are you saying that are you saying the person speaking to Abraham is a giant?
No, it's a fallen angel called Mamre.
Say that again.
It's a fallen angel. Okay, Most High always leave a remnant, right? So those fallen angels, he left a remnant of those fallen angels, and it's a fallen angel that was over that remnant called Mamre. And he was the one that was trying to hoodwink Abraham to sacrifice Isaac. That's why Michael showed up at the end and stopped him. And he told him, listen, there's a ram over there in the bush. Sacrifice him. So why is he saying it's a ram in the bush? Because that's what he used in the garden. To cover.
Okay, let me ask this. Go ahead.
So that's what he did in the garden to cover Adam and Eve's sins. He killed a ram, not a human.
So why? Okay, I'm not. Okay, so why wasn't Abraham aware that was not the Most High? Did he not have a relationship, or is it because these angels have the ability to?
Exactly. There you go.
To shapeshift, huh?
That's it.
Yep. He appeared as the Lord.
He appeared to him.
Okay.
God showed up and delivered him from him. And so
say that again. I didn't hear that part.
Michael showed up at the end and delivered him before he could go through with it. And so the thing about that is all those things, people think that stuff is far-fetched because they took all of our scriptures, like in the book of Adam and Eve. Satan was shifting and doing all kind of stuff to supernatural stuff to Adam.
Okay.
And then even with Abraham, one time he had turned into a river or like a lake of water or something and tried to hoodwink Abraham like that. But they took all that out. So you think that stuff far-fetched. But that's the capabilities that these angels had. That's the reason why they were calling them gods and worship.
Okay.
They were seeing some of the things they were doing.
And would that also be perhaps a part of why they rebelled, because because of the way that they could function, and so they felt that they could usurp the Most High's authority because they were made like him? Or well, the seven were formed with fire. I understand that. And then the other angels, well, let me go back. Was Satan formed with fire like the seven?
Well,
or no?
That's one of the things that, I don't really talk about unless that question is posed to me. But first of all, you have to go back to what so many people is deceived at, is they think that these angels and everything that's going on, they're dealing with the Most High. They're not. They're dealing with Michael. And he's an angel just like them. So, like I was saying, when you understand Satan is an angel. So me and everybody know, the angels know can't nobody contend with Yahweh. So they got a problem with this angel. And he keep on telling you all through the scriptures that it's me. I am he. I was the first one formed. That's in Isaiah 43 and 10. And he said that no angel like me. So Michael has these characteristics no other angel has. That's what the problem is.
Okay, so Michael was formed by
Yahweh.
Almighty God, right?
Right.
Right. And Satan was also formed. However, Michael has authorities and abilities that not even Satan have. Is that correct?
Right. Right.
All right. So the other angels that followed Satan in his rebellion against is Satan's rebellion against the Most High, or his rebellion is against God?
He's rebelling against Michael. Michael is the Lord of the whole host. He's the Lord of the host. So they got to deal with him.
Okay. So Satan's objective in rebelling was to come up against Michael and the authority that was given Michael as the second in command under Yahweh.
Right.
Okay. And Michael's influence over the nation of Israel, Satan is trying to prove that he can do things to cause the people that were given directly to Michael to not obey him. Right.
So the greater understanding of that is, like we talked about Wednesday, is Satan. It wasn't only Satan cast out; it was a third of the angels cast out with him, and we know that they was a priesthood. He was a high priest, and so the priesthood in heaven was cast out with him. Those serpents, fiery flying serpents. So
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. How could you say a little bit about the priesthood? So you're saying that Satan whatever he was over in heaven, it was the priesthood of heaven, or what are you saying?
Yeah, it was the priesthood. Satan was the high priest, and the priesthood that, just like if you come to the temple in Jerusalem, Aaron's seed is the high priest, and the Levites are minister in the temple.
Okay.
So what you have to do, you got to look at this. The priesthood and Levites is the one who do all the teaching, right?
Yes.
They got the understanding. They got the understanding, right?
Right.
So if you did some or like just say a Reubenite or a Gadite from the other tribes had a problem, well, they just got a problem. They really don't have no understanding. But if a Levite got a problem, he knows what's going on. He gonna try to usurp something.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? He has a greater understanding.
Okay. All right. All right.
It's a difference. It's a difference if you're dealing with an Israelite than dealing with a Levite.
Okay. The greater person to deal with is the Levite. Is that correct?
Right. So
Okay.
if he get mad at David, he got understanding how to try to usurp the kingdom.
Okay. All right. All right. So
you
Satan.
Gotta look at the fact that those serpents were priesthood.
Okay. Okay.
That's why all the drama going on today about. They was Satan was the high priest, and the serpents was the priesthood.
Okay. All right.
So they trying to usurp the Most High kingdom, and Michael is in charge of it.
Right. Okay. All right. And so it's almost like by any means necessary
Right.
to to usurp that authority.
Right.
And he is qualified to lead that type of mission because he has the knowledge of how things are supposed to function.
Right. So when you look at that, and understand that it's an angel that he's contending with, not Yahweh, because when you come to the garden, there's two trees in the garden. One is Satan, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and the other tree is Michael.
Okay.
So what the drama coming in at is the fact that he can't understand that Michael's authority supersedes his, right?
Yes.
So by him sleeping, and you have to understand this, him sleeping with Eve brought about those giant women that triggered on Almighty coming down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Michael is in charge. So he done brought all this chaos on earth that Michael is in charge of, right?
Yes.
So what Michael showed him was the power that he got. He brought the flood.
Okay. All right.
He can't deal with that. So he got to go run and hide.
Yes.
So now what we see he getting ready to do, he's going to raise up the dead. And so, like I was saying before, that's who he contending with. He ain't contending with us.
Okay.
He's showing them what he's capable of doing.
So Satan is contending with our Lord.
Right. Not with us. Not with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the mindset that we should have is just obey the laws and the statutes of our Lord. And we,
right.
You know what I'm saying? We good. You know, huh?
Right, exactly. Because he keeps telling you over and over again, there's nobody else like him.
Exactly. With that knowledge, okay. I get a little emotional, I'm sorry. So with the understanding that there's nobody like our Lord and no one is more powerful than our Lord, regardless to what it looked like. Even when it looked like Satan is gaining some ground or whatever, we still need to stand firm and steadfast toward the laws and the statutes of the Most High, because there's no one like him.
Right. Right.
And that's why it's also important for us to separate from their ideology as much as we can. You know,
yes.
Because that goes hand in hand with what you're talking about.
Right, and then you got to tie in the fact too. The order of things is that's why it's saying we. See, they told you all the Trinity, but it's Michael and these 7 angels. And every time we see every time on the earth when at a crossroad, you say we go down, not Yahweh.
Exactly. And I'm thinking about the scripture now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the scripture now because I'm excited, about this understanding, this better understanding. It says, lean not unto your own understanding.
Right.
But in all of your ways, acknowledge the Lord. And now that I know who the Lord really is, which is Michael, and I know that no one is more powerful than him, then I don't want to lean to my human understanding or look at what's happening around me and, and get afraid or get scared or go with the crowd. I just need to stand firm and lean not to my own understanding, but in all of my ways, acknowledge Michael, and he will direct my path. Okay, I'm good.
Right.
Yeah, and so to piggyback off of what you just said, and I'm going to kind of repeat myself, but you'll understand what I'm saying. So you said lean not to your own understanding, right? And so based on that statement, we know when we got off the slave ships, we no longer had our understanding, but we have their understanding. So it really should be saying lean not to their understanding.
All right. Yes, exactly. And that's what those little guys was saying, the little college guys that was at Starbucks. They were saying, if we're not supposed to think this way, then what other way is there to think? And I say, you got to get on the line because I can't break it down like the brothers on the line. So you just got to, come on the line. And that's, I believe that's a dilemma that a lot of our brothers and sisters are in. They don't know another way to think. They don't know another way to believe. It hasn't been presented to them. And so that's why, those of us, I'll just speak for myself, as I have been fortunate to be, awakened out of my sleep a little bit, because there's so much more to learn, we have to have compassion on our brothers and sisters that's still drowsy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just grateful for, having the platform to ask these questions. I don't know if I sound crazy sometime or whatever, but I want
just a little bit. I'm just playing.
I just want to, ask my questions so that, I can get a more understanding of how I'm supposed to think, because for me right now, it's like the questions I keep asking myself is this the way a Hebrew Israelite woman's supposed to think? Is this the way am I thinking like a Hebrew? So that's what it's all about, because as a man thinketh, so is he.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And that's a good way to look at it, because it might seem like it's crazy or you're off or whatever, but you're actually getting your right mind back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. The enemy understood that too. That's why they did what they did.
Yeah.
So another way to think about that also is we have, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, we have two natures, right? We have our divine nature from the Most High, and which He breathed into us in the garden, and then we have this human side, right?
Right.
All right. So the human side, our 5 senses, smell, hear, taste, touch, we have those senses in order to function in this earth realm. But our spiritual is to connect with the Most High and function according to His laws and statutes. And so the more, whichever one of those natures I give the most attention to, that's the one that's going to be in control. So if I'm constantly reacting off of my feelings and what I see instead of my divine nature and what I know, which is that the Most High, there's no one like Him, then what's happening to me momentarily in a temporary situation should not cause me to walk away from His laws and statutes, right?
Right.
Am I thinking right?
Right. Yeah. The more understanding you get, the more you're gonna cling to the Most High.
Exactly. And the better I understand that a temporary crisis should not cause my divine nature to become corrupt, or I should not find myself doing things that would hinder my divine nature and my walk with the Most High just based on a temporary crisis.
Right. Well, that's another one of those things I was talking about what people not understand. He said the Most High, Michael tells you that he's in all everything that happens. He's in all things. He said the leaf don't fall to the ground that He don't know. So the glue that holds all of it together, what you're talking about, is zeal. Well, the Most High has sent zeal, just like He sent love, and He sent everything else. You don't have no zeal for the Most High, you ain't gonna last long.
Right.
So the Most High sends zeal. He sends zeal to a person, and that zeal is what is the glue that holds them together, that binds them to Him, whereas the other person is gonna fall by the wayside.
Right.
The zeal is what's gonna make you get on this line. It's gonna make you go read and go and search Him out and all that. That's what the zeal is. And you're not gonna do that without zeal.
Right.
So you want to pray for something? That's what you ought to pray for.
Pray for the zeal of the Lord.
Right.
Okay.
So that's what's gonna bind you to Him.
All right.
It's like I was saying, a husband and a wife. If the Most High don't send no love, they ain't gonna be that long.
Right. Okay, now Kevin said he was putting up a video. What's the name of that video?
Exposing the God of the New Testament. Yeah, I just touched on three things: the Lord, the Son, and anointing, or the Anointed One.
Now, let me ask you. Now, how is that video different from the very, very first one you guys put up? The very, very first video y'all put up was about I think it was the Messiah of Israel.
No, the first one was Israel was not destroyed in 70 A.D. But that one you're talking about is focused on who the Messiah is.
Okay.
But
then yours is focused on exposing Jesus as not being the Messiah.
Right. How it's impossible based on all the things that either He said or what the Old Testament talks about. So I go into who the Lord is. I go into what it means to be anointed or the Anointed One, and I talk about the Son, which is Israel, and not one man.
Oh, okay. Right.
Not one man in the future, but it was one man at one point in the past, and he became a nation.
Right. So that when the most when the Most High looks down, He sees one man because he represents a nation. Is that right?
Yeah. When he looked down, he sees Jacob.
when you look down and see Jacob.
Right. That's why
Okay.
you keep saying Jacob, oh Israel.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to say hello to everybody and shalom. I have to go.
Okay.
All right. Shalom.
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 All right. Anybody else got anything they want to add or share or ask? All right. Well, if not, we're going to end the recording and call it a day. All right. Everybody have a good one. Shalom.
Shalom.